The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride on Thursday as we head going into the weekend, North Carolina.
Kakalaki, North Kakalaki.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. J. Cole country.
If you're up there, you know what Kakalaki means. You from up there. You know some people from up there.
Hey, man, look, it's gonna be a great weekend. Great weekend. Make sure you stop by Bojangles, okay?
I was going to ask you if you had your reservations.
Go bow time.
Do it
Bow
taste
time.
different than the one in Euless?
Yes.
Well, they don't have bone-in in Houston. Euless. Only boneless.
I was unimpressed.
That wasn't bad. Euless wasn't bad.
Look,
No. Listen to what you said now. It's a difference between it wasn't bad and the expectations.
It wasn't the mothership, okay?
Right.
When Clarence and I went for opening day, we asked questions. Trying to figure out the why. hey, now we talked to the chef and
y'all talked to the chef.
Yeah.
We was at Media Day, sir. We was at Media Day at Bojangles.
I'm sorry, I was working on my book then.
We're dedicated. We're dedicated to the chicken game. So Clarence Hill and I went up there to go check it out.
Well, I snuck in through the back door.
Okay, well, Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star Telegram here. Side Youssef of the Athletic, deep into
something.
Checking them hockey things here.
No.
Joe-Jacques Taylor.
That hockey mentality.
All day, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong. You know, hockey people, good people, man. They're not all sensitive like you come over here sometimes. Hockey guys, good eggs.
They
man.
happy to be talked to.
Well,
True.
Happy to see you coming.
There's something to that.
Happy to see you. Happy to see you. Happy to see you coming. Happy to see you here.
Yes, they are. Speaking of happy to see you coming, CD Lane was happy to see people coming today. Cowboys wide receiver met with the media. I dare say he is the most confident we've seen him as a Cowboy player, NFL player in himself right now. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think that, because I tried to ask him, because it's a balancing act, because he's setting all his records and putting up all his numbers. Do you want to pass Michael Irvin? Yes, I want to do this. But he's not a me guy, in a sense. When he complained about the ball, it wasn't I need to get off because I need this contract.
It wasn't Terrell Owens.
It was I need the ball because it helps us win. And his numbers and the numbers he's put up and the records he's set over the last 3 weeks has been the process of part of this offense growing and developing into what they hoped it could be. So that's the good part about it. They're not empty numbers.
And to that point, the game that he did come out and ask for the ball was after the San Francisco game. And so nobody would dispute that is a game where, and you would go back and watch the tape, the All-22 on that. CeeDee Lamb was breaking wide open a lot in that game. And so he needed to get the ball. And to me, one thing that stood out in the last 2-3 weeks, we've been talking about CD with the coordinators, is Brian Schottenheimer talked about it wasn't just CD asked for the ball and then showed up on game day wanting the ball. Like, he amped up his practice energy. He amped up everything else. So he backed it up with a total body of work that didn't just come on Sundays and Mondays, but on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well.
he just balling, dog.
And piggybacking on that, since you really wasn't getting ready to elaborate on he balling.
If you're the first dude to get 3 games.
We're here to talk. We don't want to hear you say he balling.
If you got 3 games, the only dude to ever have 10 catches, 150 yards, then you balling. And,
one
thing was understood don't need to be explained.
Okay, I understand, but we got to fill time, sir.
It just wasn't in that Terrell Owens type of way.
No.
Or the Keyshawn, give me the damn ball. This was truly, and he's right. I can help us win. And getting me the ball is a positive thing. And also for the quarterback. You and I started running to the quarterback. Well, he all smiles. It makes life a lot easier. And this is what, and I go back to the draft class. Jefferson out there in Minnesota. Jefferson in Minnesota has been the star receiver of that class.
Right.
Anybody fight me on that? Or are we all good?
No,
he the best.
Okay. And if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're also sitting in – Kirk Cousins is feeding him, and he's producing.
What about Jared Judy? What about that other dude that's in Oakland?
The second one that went off the board?
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that.
The second Alabama.
We don't want to go there.
What the
Second
other
Alabama.
dude?
I heard he was balling on the flag football team.
Is it a black foot team? What is it? The mean green.
Hey, look,
What's not the mean green? The mean machine. He bought the mean machine. He got the new mean machine.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you think about the two Alabama receivers who went 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs went to the Raiders,
And that's with the mean machine.
And then you got Jerry Jeudy.
Complaining about the ball and getting fighting Stephen Smith.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And so on the back end, it's CeeDee Lamb and it's Jefferson here, but. To see Jefferson the last 2 years dominate the way he did, and if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're watching it, give me that opportunity. Well, and he's getting that opportunity now, and he's doing it.
Well, I mean, I think that perspective needs to be added.
Okay, add it.
At it.
Last 2 years, CeeDee Lamb led the Cowboys in reception. Last year, CeeDee has gone off. He's been on the Pro Bowl last 2 years. It wasn't like he hasn't been getting the ball, and when Dak's been on the field, his numbers have jumped. Okay, you go last year, early in the season when Cooper Rush was playing, his numbers were down. When Dak came back, that's when he had that Pro Bowl season. So he's been getting the ball. He's been getting off. He's been a big part of the offense. I mean, it's one reason why they felt comfortable letting Amari Cooper go because CeeDee Lamb was the natural ascension to that number one receiver role. He'd already led them receiving that year. So I think the difference here is that early in the season, I think it's a number of things. And I don't think the Cowboys, and we talked to Dak about that, I don't think the Cowboys were necessarily not trying to get him the ball because I think in one game early, the first game he had like 11 catches, then he had like 4 or 5 or something like that. But they were still developing as an offense, okay? They were still trying to find who they were as an offense and what their identity was. And I think that, it coincided with Dak running the ball and doing different things, them realizing that we're not a smash mouth. I want to run the ball, protect my defense team. The best part of this team is the quarterback and receivers and getting them the ball and moving. I think, when Mike McCarthy said we cut Dak loose, he cut CD loose, and all worked hand in hand. And the beautiful thing, I asked Dak about that today. Are you hot? Are y'all in the zone? Or is this who y'all are? Because, either they're hot, they're seeing everything well, but is this just a zone? This is a fad? This is something that's can be stopped? Or is this who you are? And he said, this is who we are. This is we struggled and we were trying to find who we were early in the season and we were getting used to the offense, but this is who we are. And you add some of the things that have changed during the bye week with more pre-snap motion, a lot of different things to open them up. But and he pointed out that even in our loss against Philadelphia, we were balling. This offense was balling.
So let me ask you all this: has this been an improvement over Kellen Moore's side?
I think it's still a TBD. Like, I think it's still a work in progress. We see, I wouldn't put a cap on where this offense or Dak or CD are going until they show us there is a cap. It's, we've seen a difference from beginning of the season to now. And I think to go back to kind of what, what Clarence is talking about with Dak, one thing that CD talked about too is that both of them are kind of in this zone together, where Dak has been playing well and CD hasn't been on top of it. CD's been playing well, Dak hasn't been there. Now it's aligning, and I think that is important. And when he talks about this is who they are, that doesn't mean CD's never going to have a game below 10 catches and 150. It's more about the philosophy of the involvement and everything like that. And I think that's really important. And, you talk about with Jefferson, with Kirk Cousins, we see it with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Whatever these top guys are, it kind of does work hand in hand. But is it better than Kellen Moore? I mean, I think it's on the path. We wouldn't have said that a month ago, and I think right now it is. Right now it is. I wouldn't have. Clearly, after the San Francisco game, that offense was not better than Kellen Moore's offense. But I think now it's headed in that
Zeke
direction.
Center,
What's that?
They didn't have Zeke playing center on the play.
Yeah, well,
That was one play.
okay, one play. But I think
Pretty significant play.
I think no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was the end of the
No.
game.
The game-
it wasn't. The game was over.
The game was over.
The game was over. But my point is that right now it absolutely is. What I want to see is how they're able to sustain and maintain where it is right now and make sure that it's not a fad.
Well, and I know you need to talk.
They balling.
It is. Well, he said with his piece. Now I can go. Now, it is better. Okay, you know why it's better? Because
They playing the Giants defense.
not just
Exactly.
the job. Again, they did against the Eagles. They did this, and I hate that because on paper, the Giants' struggle has been on offense. They ain't been on defense. Ain't nobody done what Dak did to the Giants' defense. Look at them. Their pass defense is better than Philadelphia's pass defense. Okay, numbers-wise. So to just dismiss it and say it was the Giants' defense, I think that's unfair. But when I say that they're better, is because it comes out of Dak's mouth. Dak is the biggest Kellen Moore fan ever, okay? Kellen Moore made him. He was his backup quarterback, confident, all of that. And he, they kept Kellen Moore because of their relationship with Dak. And for Dak to come out here and say, I have a better understanding, command of this offense in my career, that's all you need to know. If he all the years under Kellen Moore, he's been in this offense less than 6 months and talking about he has a better understanding, more confidence, more control of this offense. That's the biggest difference. That's why it's better.
And that's Mike McCarthy. And some of that.
Okay, whatever. I'm saying, but that's come from Dak, though.
No, I'm not disputing you, man. Hold up, player.
Yeah.
But it's not just Mike McCarthy. It's, some of that is how you explain the offense. That's why they spent the whole offseason talking about everybody now knows exactly what they're supposed to do on every play. And it's about the details. And so, Kellen Moore is cool. His offense was productive. You can't argue that. But it only got him so far. And sometimes to get to the next level, you got to deal and go through that hardship of change and get rid of your boys or your favorite people and let them go so that you can grow, because somebody else can pull something out of you that Kellen Moore couldn't.
Yeah, and there's those details matter. I mean, and I talked about it before, coming into camp, CD, the tight end, all the time, we finally know what we're supposed to do, and we know what everybody else is doing. That in itself is an indictment of Kellen Moore. Yeah, when they talk about we understand, we have a better understanding of the play purpose, and this wasn't even in their lexicon last year.
But and I've been covering 30 points a game and act like
they were like the top 5 offense.
I don't disagree, but I'm just telling you what these guys say. I've been listening to them, did interviews with them since they got here, since before they got here, and I've never heard them say these things about their offense.
I think it's just a more nuanced understanding of what they're doing.
And I think where it is right now,
sometimes the why matters in terms of, because I can't remember who I was talking to a long time ago, sometime this year. But they're like, it matters that you understand that the reason we need you to run this clear out route this way is so that these other cats can come open. It's not just you ain't getting the ball this time, so just go through the motion.
And if that ain't being coached, that's an indictment.
Well, sometimes you assume, as I told my boy the other day, dog, common sense ain't common. You just can't. That's why every time you leave the house, you tell your kids, lock the door and don't open it until I get back, because
you have to do it every time.
Common sense ain't common.
Right.
I think where it is right now, there's no question this is the best offense that Dak has had in his career. To me, that's no question. For me, it's all about, like I said, sustainability. They just have to be able to maintain this over a longer period of time, and there's no sign that they're not going to be able to. Like I said, it's not about production. It's not about CD has to have 10 for 150 every week. It's about the philosophy has to be the same.
Before we go to break, let me just ask this.
Are we finna go to break?
Yeah, because it's 3:14. Could Trey Lance do it like this?
Stop it. I'm not messing with you. I'm not with you.
We're going to break. You're going to break with Jack Taylor, Saad Youssef, Claire Children. This is the Media Mash right here on Dallas Cowboys Radio.
Leave that young man alone.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. There's no appointment needed and no waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 is so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites in a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
All right, Media Mash. Back here with Jean-Jacques Taylor, whose book, Coach Prime, is we an excellent Christmas gift. Black Friday is coming up here. So let's make sure we do that.
I got to be Black Friday.
Get on Amazon because it's Black Friday. And that's how I know it. I didn't know it as any other Friday. But bottom line is, go ahead, get you a Black author book on Black Friday. Just make it all work for yourself. And that way you buy it early now, then you have to go out here and worry about the holiday season. You boom, you already take care of. Side Youssef. One day he'll write his book out. I'm sure it's coming when the Stars win that championship.
I thought it was going to be on Trey Lance.
That too.
He's just trying to
embryotic stage. The embryonic stage. Yeah, where was Trey born? Minnesota, right? Minneapolis. You don't know?
I don't know where Trey Lance was born.
Trey's from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
PJ Fleck didn't recruit him and all. You need to work on that story. Work on that story, man. Go ahead. We give you planting that little mustard seed for you there. He is Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star Telegram here, trying to copy my hat. My hat looks better, but hey, dog team, I'm glad it is. Mine looks better.
I'm not trying to copy your hat. Don't put false narratives out there, Stephen A. I mean, nobody's trying to copy your hat. You did not have anything first. You had no Omega first before me.
I had
you
this
had
hat, this style.
You did not have this style.
You had the one that just said dog.
No, sir. That's not true.
It's okay.
It's not true. You have had nothing in Omega before me.
I was telling Clarence when we were walking into the stadium together. I told him, I was like, he's always impossible to miss. It's always some purple, something going on somewhere.
It's all good. By the way, don't forget tonight, if you'd like to eat and drink with Clarence and hear Clarence stories, you can at Ella B's.
It's not
tonight.
Clarence stories. First of all, it's great stories from former Cowboys. And tonight I will have 2 former Cowboys who are also members of this illustrious fraternity. Billy Joe Dupree, legendary tight end of Michigan State, and Ken the Hammer Hamlin from Arkansas.
Pooh Pig Suey. So, yes. And it's always a good night. Last year, he had Ed Too Tall Jones and LaDainian Tomlinson and myself, so it was really good. So, make sure you come on out there.
And the food is good out there, too.
Yeah, food is good. This food is good. I just got a better hat. No restraints. Let's dive into
when you're the young bros, you always try to do something to try to make you
imitate.
Try to come up to the stature.
The Carolina Panthers is where
bros.
The Cowboys are going this weekend to Charlotte, North Carolina. Go get your Bojangles while you're out there.
Right. Hanging out with the bros.
What is a concern that Cowboy fans should look towards? Because
for this game? In this game?
Yeah, because, right now you think, hey, just blew the Giants out. This team, even though they've got a better record than the Giants, still not a good team. So, tell people what they need to look out for.
For me, I mean, obviously you're not super concerned about anything in particular, but I think Bryce Young is where it starts. And Bryce Young is a mobile quarterback. He's talented, and I think whenever you have this little bit of a new twist with Frank Reich taking over the play calling, there could be a little bit of unscouted whatever. I know he was obviously calling plays earlier this season too, but just with Bryce Young and the unknown, and I think that is something that Micah Parsons today talked about as well. Like, he is a talented quarterback. This isn't going against Tommy DeVito, with all due respect to Tommy DeVito, but I think that's where it starts for me, is you do have to look out for Bryce Young and make sure that he's not beating you because Joshua Dobbs did become the guy that, kind of was the catalyst to beating you in week 3.
You just need to play your game. Don't help them out. And you're good. They can't win without your help.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you got to turn it over. You got to have some pre-snap penalties. You got to have some pass interference. You have to help them. They can't win without your help. So you play your game. You play it clean. You come out with it with the dub.
I think I harken back to CeeDee Lamb. They were talking about, CeeDee Lamb was talking about he hasn't had a tear like this since he's been in college. But he said, this ain't college. This is a whole different level. These are real men out here that play football, and I know that it's our job to pump up Bryce Young because he was the number 1 pick and he's talented based on what he did in college. But when he was in college, he certainly had the best players on his side.
No, he did have the best players.
He had the best players on his side.
Had
best offensive line, first-round receivers, all of that. He doesn't have that at Carolina, and he is not able to elevate lesser talent. Which is why they blame an offensive coordinator and they change the coordinator. They don't have talent, and they have a young quarterback.
Yeah. Adam Thielen, their best receiver. That's what you.
Displaced, discarded Adam Thielen. Is their best receiver. They have nobody that can beat you vertically. Nobody running back that scares you. Yes, the Cowboys need to take lessons. I talked to Micah and Curse about from Arizona game, and yes, like I said, the biggest thing is Josh Dobbs ain't showing up because he is a playmaker, and he's proven to be a playmaker in his short stints. They need to learn lessons from the Arizona game and not take this team lightly and focus on themselves and take care of their business because they're still smarting from the Arizona loss. And Micah talked about it today. We can't let that happen again.
Well, and also fast start, man. Yeah, it's about the fast start. It's about coming out ready to play. Because all these teams, why did Arizona win ultimately? Because you gave them hope early. Like, oh, shoot, we got a chance. And when you give these teams hope, they go back to back when they was all conference or all district, and that's how they play. When you take away their hope, they play like the...
Agree. Yeah. Like a boxing match. When you come out of rounds 1 and 2 and you get punched in the mouth, it's a whole lot different. Go ahead, Si.
And also, I think what Jock talked about, not giving them opportunities and not beating yourself. I mean, when you go back to that Arizona game, we can talk about Dobbs and their running game and all that, but they were atrocious in the red zone. I mean, they got down there, 2 turnover on downs inside the 5-yard line. That's beating yourself, and so you can't do that.
Paul Brown always said football's a game of mistakes, and you got to eliminate the mistakes, the stupid penalties, that kind of stuff they have to do. Also, Diggy Zua showed up on the practice report with a hamstring. Do I pull Assad and say, should he play this weekend as they get ready for Thanksgiving Day or what?
I mean,
he's a full participant.
The funny thing about it, let's talk about the practice report because they only practice 1 day a week. This is like, I guess Dak was joking about it. He called it the Hall of Fame schedule. Basically, it's the Tyron Smith schedule,
Hey, all decade.
I'm just saying, I mean, because in Tyron don't practice at all anymore, which has been great for him. I mean, like, you don't practice at any day this week. And they basically have a walkthrough on Wednesday. They have 1 practice on Thursday. They have a stay day on Friday, another walkthrough on Saturday to go play. So I think Mike McCarthy has done a great job of keeping these guys healthy and getting these guys right. I don't think he's gotten enough credit for how he's managed this team, even the past couple of years, going 12-5, certainly managing them without a Dak last year going 4-1, and this year how he's managing that team and managing their bodies to keep them healthy. There were people on the injury report, but they're all full pretty much. And Steven said the other day, this is the healthy they've been. This is a healthy football team.
Remember, against Arizona, they were without 3 of their 5 offensive linemen, too.
And without Trevon Diggs the first time.
Diggs, yeah.
So this is a healthy football team, and certainly, they lost for the season, Leighton Vander Esch, but he was already out. And that news came out, this week that he's going to be gone for the rest of the season and possibly for the rest of his career. But the dirty little secret is
Marquise Bell,
and those guys have actually been better at linebacker than Leighton Vander Esch was when he was in there. Nobody want to say that, but the numbers say that.
It's interesting because when it happened, I got a note from our newsroom. The TV says, "Hey, want to put you in the A block at 6." About Leighton Vander Esch. I said, why? Because, somebody just in the newsroom just read the headline, he's out for the year. He's been out for a while. And they've been winning without him. Until you brought this up, you haven't missed him. And that's not to be a slight, just they have filled a hole.
Right.
They have gone on. It's been next man up. This isn't, oh my gosh, Diggs is out for the year kind of thing.
Right.
What do we do with our corner spot?
And the real news is, we already knew he was out for the year. Anybody that covered this team, when he was out, we knew he was out for the year. I never had any expectation to come back. The news is that he may have played his last down.
There you go.
That's where there's a story that he may have played his last down.
Can I say
with his history of neck injuries going back to college?
And I say this as somebody who was a Sterling Sharp fan,
who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Yes. I kind of hope he doesn't come back, because what I don't want to see, and you're too young, I never want to see Michael Irvin type thing, man. Yeah. Where you just see somebody getting carted off the field and you just have that feeling, man, this is it. Or when Sterling was laying it, because he had a neck injury before, came back, and just like, man, look, you have had when in terms of the odds from where he came from in his life living in Idaho, to be a first-round draft pick, to play multiple years, he's got the pension, he's about to have a child, his first child. Bro, be done with it. Just be done with it, because I don't want to see. You don't want to mess with the neck, and I don't want to see that guy laying on the field ever again, injured. I just don't. That's just me. That is me, and that's because
yeah, you have and
nice family, good wife.
Talking to many players, they talked about health and choosing the quality of life and all the other stuff, and so we asked questions. It was yesterday, and everybody was talking about quality of life and the decision they had to make, and clearly that's what the decision is. And everybody knows that it's not about playing football again. It's about your health in your life, and you've had a good career, and now let's focus on that.
And that's where we cover this. The average fan, I don't think, understands. This man's had a good career. Mm-hmm. He has surpassed what people do coming into the National Football League. Man, he got nothing. I know he didn't care what I think, but man, this man should have nothing but good things to think about his career and moving on. And you've made a Pro Bowl, you've made money.
You got a second contract. I mean, it wasn't, you didn't break bank on his second deal, but you got your second contract from the team that drafted you. That means you're doing something right.
I think about one of the guys who's on the field now, Rashaan Evans. They were both in that same draft, and he's his third team now, Rashaan Evans from Tennessee, and then where he was last year, Atlanta, and then here. Yeah. So, Leighton Vander Esch has had a really good career, and I was once again, I thought you put it. Choose health, man. Choose health, being able to pick up your child and be able to just live a good quality of life. He's had a heck of a run in the National Football League, and we've covered enough guys through the years to just simply say, hey, man, I hope I don't cover you again, because I care about your well-being in this thing.
And also, just a quick thing on that. This is where it's also different from, I know it's very easy to make the comparison with him and Sean Lee, but Sean Lee was dealing with ACL, things like that. This is your neck. This is again, quality of life. With Sean Lee, he always got those, sports hernia and ACL and all that kind of stuff. But these are all things that you're like, all right, it's going to be a grind to come back, but then you can come back and give it a shot. And then still have your quality of life after to a varying extent.
A lot of lower body.
A lot of lower body. You don't want to mess with their neck, back, things like that.
Right. You said Sterling Sharp. I just remember when he got hurt and he came back and he got hurt again. I was like, man, go. Call it a career, and he did, and you are very right. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Brett Favre, I actually did a Sterling Sharp camp, my first gig. I had to go down and do a Sterling Sharp camp, and Brett had just taken the job from Don Makowski, the Magic Man, from the Magic
number 7.
Mm-hmm. And so he was at the camp, and he wasn't the star. The star was Sterling. The kids were all there to see Sterling. Steve Atwater came, and then they had the guy who I thought was the bodyguard that nobody knew. Turns out it was Shannon. Nobody knew him then. Nobody knew him back in '93, and just to be there with Sterling was a heck of a good football player, man. Really, really, really was. All right, let's get our second break in here. When we come back, Clarence is making me not want to click on his Twitter. We'll dive into that next right here.
Wait, are we doing this?
On the Media Mash, DallasCowboys.com.
First of all, it was not on my Twitter.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys. And now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't-stop-banking.
Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit unitedagandturf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, let's ride with Media Insiders. Clarence Hill, the Fort Worth Star Telegram. Remember, he's at Ella B's tonight in Arlington. Come hang out with him. A special mega show going down there. We got Saad Youssef of The Athletic. My man does double duty, covering the Stars, covering the Cowboys. We got Jean-Jacques Taylor, the author. His book, Coach Prime, is out. It's going to be an excellent Christmas gift. Black Friday is coming. You don't need to go out. All you need to do is go ahead, find bookstores, Amazon, Barnes, Noble, all the people that send it to your house for free, and, take care of it.
Great read on a flight. I've been reading on my flights.
Thank you. It is. And just even how the name Bucky, how he got a son named Bucky, all that, man. So it's a really good book. And I had someone tell me that they had talked to Arkansas about interviewing Deion Sanders many years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of it.
And I was just like, boy, look at the schools that missed.
Yeah, no?
Well, he didn't have a degree at that time, and that was part of the reason why he went and got a degree. And so he went and got a degree because he wasn't going to get a major college job without his degree.
No, almost everyone requires it.
Yes.
So that's one reason why he went back and got the degree.
From Talladega State.
Mm-hmm. Talladega State, HBCU. There you go.
Tougaloo.
Was it Tougaloo?
Tougaloo.
We sure? He wrote a book.
Is it Tougaloo or Talladega? Because I ain't never heard of Talladega State.
It's HBCU down in Alabama, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it's Tougaloo College, ain't it?
Tougaloo's in Mississippi, isn't it?
Well, we'll look at that. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to let you write your book.
So, anyway.
Yes, anyway.
Once again, Clarence, sidetrack Clarence, boy.
I'm not sidetracked. We're just having a conversation.
Exit ramp.
Exactly.
Talladega Nights.
So, Clarence's Twitter will lead you into some places sometimes you don't want to go. Sometimes.
It's an interesting eclectic blend.
Yes, today it was a clip from ESPN. I don't watch these debate shows. I don't.
I gave them up many years ago.
Okay, I don't fall into it. And most of the things that I do are going to be on social media clips. Like, God bless Acho. I love him to death, but I've never watched one time have I tuned into their show. So the clip is Stephen A. Smith, Christopher Russo, Kimberly Martin, and our guy Swagoo. And they're talking about the interceptions of Josh Allen, who's led the league in interceptions the most since 2018, and the scrutiny Josh is getting versus Dak Prescott. And Stephen A. Smith just basically admitted, guess what? You know why we don't spend a lot of time on that? Because people don't care. They care about the Cowboys, so we're going to talk about them. So he's just telling you, yes, I'm not about substance. I'm about clickbait and style. And
yes,
he gave up the game right there. We knew what the game was, but I just watched it, and then I look at myself. Why did I let Clarence take me down this rabbit hole?
It's not a rabbit hole. See, to me, that was frustrating to me. This just recircle is Talladega College. I know it wasn't a state. That's what confused me. So it's Talladega College. It's not a state.
Talk about that.
Okay, I just want to reset that. But anyway.
Because he didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah. It's not a state. It's just Talladega College. But anyway, getting back to.
So he was right.
It was Talladega.
Talladega.
Not Tupelo.
He was right.
He was right.
Thank you.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. He said it wasn't Talladega.
And where's Tougaloo College? I was right.
Anyway, so as we reset that, I just want to make sure we
all wrong. We want to make sure we all get all straight. You all wrong. Thank you.
But and so I have this reputation being a Dak apologist, and y'all try to take shots. And my thing is that, and this is the problem, is that I just don't like the narratives that are out there. And from Stephen A, from whoever else, this narrative that he's this mistake-prone quarterback, which is not true. He's never been. When I talk about the interceptions, and I downplayed him last year, as I said, the 15 interceptions Dak had, if you go back to the 30s, the fewest interceptions of any NFL leader in the NFL. But because it's Dak, we've overblown and over-investigated and done all these things. I got into it with Dan Orlovsky, in the spring. He did this whole breakdown of Dak's interceptions. I'm like, did you do that with the quarterback last year, let the league in interception? Have you done that with Josh Allen? They've not. And because of content. So don't tell me it's true journalism. Don't tell me you're doing this because this is things that people want to talk about because it's important to the NFL. No, it's important to you and your ratings. So Stephen A just pulling the curtains back. Yeah, we try to talk about Josh, but no one cares. It doesn't push the needle. So we talk about Dak. And I understand that it comes with the territory being the Cowboys. But the problem is you're giving people a false sense of reality. You got people out there who really believe, because you talk about Dak's interception, that he's an interception-prone, turnover-prone player, and that's never been the case. There are Cowboy fans who come up to Micah, what about Dak's interception? And it's because of this incessant narrative that's on all these different shows about his picks from last year.
And, just to build on that.
So it's unfair. That's all I'm saying. It's just an unfair point of view.
As Kimberly Martin said, moving the goalposts on this. She said, you're moving the goalposts.
And I think, I wrote this last week, so it doesn't account for the game that just happened. But as of last week, Dak was at, not just if you're looking at just the interceptions, but you look at what Pro Football Focus calls turnover-worthy pass percentage.
Right.
He's at 1.5%, which was second best in the league behind Joe Burrow, who was at 1.4%. So basically, he's top of the league in the least turnover-worthy pass percentage. So it's not even just the end result of the interceptions. He's not even throwing passes that are interceptable. And I think that's really been impressive. And last year, I understand it was an outlier, but Dak has never been that guy. And this year, not only is he not that guy, but he's gone all the way to the other side of being one of the best in the NFL and not being even throwing stuff in harm's way.
Yeah, like I said, I just think it's unfair, and you can't say we do it because you're giving people a false sense of who is good and who is bad, because that's what they believe. When there are people that really believe all Dak does is throw turnover or throw interceptions. He's turnover prone. He's a turnover machine. There are people that are out there that would cling to this like it's the gospel because it's been screamed so loudly on all of these networks.
Agreed. You start looking at the interceptions right now. Josh Allen of the Bills leads the league with 11. Jordan Love of Green Bay has 10. Mac Jones of the Patriots has 10. Jimmy Garoppolo has 9. And, oh, by the way, Jimmy has missed time. Jalen Hurts of the Eagles has 8 interceptions. You've got Sam Howell of Washington with 9 interceptions. So when you talk about, just who's giving away the football, and then if you are invested in these shows, who are they spending their time talking about? It is very interesting. The amount of time that was used into Dak's interceptions after the San Francisco game, you haven't seen that type of, what Mike Lurvin once said, the same intensity.
Report with the same intensity. You didn't see segment after segment. Yeah, they mentioned it, but they don't go segment after segment. What's wrong with Dak? What's wrong with the Cowboys? It's like that. And Bobby Bell sent me a list last night because I had retweeted about that. He said the list of quarterbacks in the NFL history, not just this year, in NFL history with a higher TD percentage and lower interception rate than Dak Prescott in NFL history. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. That's the list.
That's right.
And that's who he is, and that's who he's been. You stole that. That's who he is, and that's who he's been. But again, you got people who act like he's a turtle machine. It's just not wrong. It's just wrong.
Which is, once again, if you don't tweet that, I don't look at it. I would have found it.
Yeah, but too many people do.
Is,
too many people do, and that's the thing is I get people who walk to me all the time. People everywhere. The first thing they bring up about Dak Prescott is the turnovers. There's too many people that do. So I think it's an injustice to their audience.
Well, you out there, you know.
That's all. That's my point of view.
Shannon Sharp. I mean, Shannon Sharp and Clinton.
He's the same way. I mean, I tell Shannon the same thing. You know.
Yeah, I noticed you've been on this show before back when he was out there at FS1, but Shannon is another one that jumps on him very much.
And shady, and I don't give him no grace.
I can't tell you the last thing he's done. Looked at I said clip of him.
I'm with you.
I don't look what he's done.
I got Hellman left. I was really nervous when I got Hellman left. They ran in and beat that man down. And he don't come on TV anymore. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think you're an apologist. I think you're actually trying to show people what there is another side that is not being covered. Like, we're not talking about this. This is legit.
No, we don't.
And Stephen A. Smith basically came out and admitted it today. I am doing entertainment. I'm not doing real sports.
What they doing? Because you talk about journalism all the time. And
it ain't journalism.
And I differentiate it. It's entertainment.
It's entertainment. It's WWE. But people did, like somebody came to me last night. Well, people know it's fake, but they still buy it. No, people don't know that. There are people that don't know wrestling's fake. I'm just trying to tell you.
My grandmama was one of them.
I'm just telling you. And people don't know wrestling's fake. They buy it hook, line, and sinker.
I also think that the goalposts.
They don't know that. They think these guys are real champions.
There's some people that think
they won something.
They think elections aren't real. A lot of people think you say something loud enough, and you find a right bull,
right?
And people will actually
really.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say on that, on the goalpost moving, is one thing when we talk about Dak Prescott, or not we, but like that entertainment realm, talk about franchise quarterback is kind of like who the franchise quarterback is, as in like Kirk Cousins type franchise quarterback. Whereas if he doesn't measure up to Patrick Mahomes, he's not a franchise quarterback, and it's not that black and white. And that only happens with a select few quarterbacks, and really mostly just Dak, where if you're not playing to Patrick Mahomes level, you're not a franchise quarterback. And that's just not true. There's 2 guys, 3 guys in that top tier, and nobody else is like that.
The interesting thing about it from Dak that I've heard from folks, and just they pop up on your social media feed. If you listen to them, you think he's still the highest paid player.
Oh, I know.
That's right.
Still would believe that.
Or about where he belongs, right?
And he was never the highest paid player, but they still act like that, for sure.
And I'm like, tell me what Kyler Murray's making. Nobody can tell me that. Tell me Kyler Murray, because he makes more. He makes more, and just that whole premise. All right, who we got tonight? Baltimore 3.5-point favorite at home against the Bengals.
That's a tough game, man.
That's a good game.
And it's a must-win for both teams, especially coming off losses.
Yeah, Bengals are 4-5, and the Ravens are 7-3.
Normally I go with the team of desperation, but Baltimore mad because they lost last week.
Bengals are in desperation for sure.
Yeah, I like the Bengals.
Give me Baltimore at home.
I want to pick Baltimore. I think the Bengals are the more desperate team, and Baltimore got issues. I mean, they give up leads like nobody's business in the fourth quarter.
Hey, look,
I'm still going with Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Rolling with Lamar. Find a way. I need Joe Burrow to throw about three touchdowns and Tyler Boyd.
They are desperate.
Oh, see, now it's about your fantasy team, Mike McCarthy.
I got Mark Andrews.
Oh, that Tyler Boyd drop probably hurt you bad, didn't it?
I still got smoked. It was that bye week.
That's like about your fantasy team, Mike McCarthy.
That's right.
Sterling Sharp was an anchor on my fantasy team for years.
He was, man. He was. And, I'm going to say something one day. And Mike got one more time to go out to the fantasy football crowd. I'm going to say something.
What you going to say?
Mike's keeping you paid, bro. Okay, people investing. I've got CD Lamb.
I don't play fantasy football. It was funny because I was like, Mike don't play fantasy football, but
he shall make a lot of references.
No, but Did not Brandon Cooks get the first pass of the game and got fed? Somebody started him on their fantasy.
Rico Dowdle. No, actually, a lot of folks didn't.
They wasn't his kids did.
They was disgruntled after
that one burner fantasy account that picked up Rico Dowdle off of waivers, and then Rico Dowdle.
And so by that same time, before we get out of here, so Mike McCarthy, he's a classic with us. He downplayed the need to get
Rico Dowdle the ball.
No, we initially downplayed Brandon Cooks the ball last week. He downplayed. I don't play fantasy football. Of course, Brandon Cook got 10 catches, 173 yards, first pass of the game. This week we've been asking about Rico Dowdle, and he said, "I'm focused on Tony Pollard."
Yeah, Rico Dowdle going 18 for 175 this week.
If you're a betting man, if you're a gambling man, you do all this stuff. Start Rico Dowdle this week. He's gonna get the ball.
Yep, Gelkin started last week talking about it, Rico, and it's going on. So all right, Clarence Hill, Saad Youssef. Yes, really. Jean-Jacques Taylor, Newy Scruggs. Take it.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,